I mean, what a change it has been. A couple of days ago, we were talking about oil demand falling off a cliff. Prices fell off a cliff. And then we've got some more positive data, thankfully, on Omicron and some other COVID data. And guess what? Oil is taken back off. So let's take a crystal ball look into 2022 and demand with Baker Hughes Chair and CEO Lorenzo Simonelli. Lorenzo, thank you very much for joining us at a CNBC exclusive. Appreciate it.
Great to be with you, Brian. Thanks a lot.
When you look at that crystal ball, 2022, I've heard you make some positive comments here in some of the panels. Are you optimistic, and why?
I am optimistic, and as we continue to look at 2022, we see demand recovery, we see the economies around the world recovering, and by the end of 2022, we think that demand will be back at 2019 levels. And with that, also activity will pick up. So we're optimistic that we've got tailwind within the oil and gas sector.
And that's it. I mean, everybody here seems to be waiting for this. It's like you're waiting for Guffman, you're waiting for Godot, and we're waiting for the U.S. producers to start pumping more oil, which means they would hire Baker Hughes. That comes down to big capital spending plans from Exxon, Chevron, Total. You're an 80% global company.
Correct.
You've talked to all of them. Cap spending is coming up, but is it coming up enough?
You know, we're seeing cap spending coming up, but we're also seeing a divergence. And I think as you've heard from some of the IOCs, they're retaining their capital discipline. They are increasing their spend. But I heard you speak to Mike Wirth. And again, the returning of cash to shareholders is important for the IOCs, as well as the continued allocation, not just to oil and gas, but also the energy transition. As we look to the privates and we look to some of the independents, you are seeing increased activity. But I'd go more international. And when you look at the low-cost basins, you look at the national oil companies, that's where we're seeing the capital spend. You've seen some of the announcements from Aramco, from ADNOC, also Petrobras with what they're doing. So we see the low-cost basins internationally seeing positive growth and an increase in capital spending going forward in the next few years.
You know, what's interesting about Baker Hughes, because as you know, okay, we have sort of taken on your Friday rig count as almost a weekly economic indicator. But you guys are so much more than that. And you're a huge, by the way, you just signed a big LNG deal
That's
with Woodside.
correct.
So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. You're doing work in hydrogen. Do you feel like almost because we talk so much about rig counts that Baker Hughes as a stock maybe doesn't get the understanding or the investor love that it should? Do people fundamentally misunderstand your business?
Well, I'm glad you said it, not me, because...
Well, I feel bad because we talked about the rig counts for you. It's our fault.
Look, Baker Hughes is an energy technology company, and the portfolio and the capabilities we have go far beyond a rig count. And when you look at the portfolio that we brought together in 2017, it really allows us to play in two business areas. One is the upstream, and obviously driving efficiencies for our customers,
taking oil out of the ground.
Taking oil out of the ground, the extraction aspect, both on surface and also deep water. And then we have the industrial energy technology business area, which is really goes well beyond just the aspect of oil and gas, but goes into the aspect of natural gas, LNG, which we see as key in the energy transition, and also goes into industrial segments. And when you think about CCUS, you think about hydrogen, that's applicable to more than just the oil and gas sector. So we've got a nice complement of two business areas that have tailwind as we go forward.
Carbon capture, CCUS. It's an important thing that we're talking about here with all the energy transition and reduction of emissions. Lorenzo Simonelli, Chair and CEO of Baker Hughes. Lorenzo, we really appreciate it.